Welcome to this RCCO Examination Masterclass Series. My name is Gordon Johnston. I'm the Chief Examiner of the Royal Canadian College of Organists. And today I would like to talk to you about open score questions. You know, one of the things that I really am proud of with our RCCO exams is that they examine things that real organists do in their real lives. And all of us end up reading open score, whether you're accompanying a choir practice or just reading through something to find out how it goes. So the ability to read more than just organ tablature at once is important, it's useful. Now, in our RCCO exams, there are open score questions at the colleague, associateship, and fellowship levels. Now, the colleague level is really basically hymn style spread out on 4 staves. It has no part crossing, no weird extensions, and it's like a hymn. It just reads itself basically vertically. It also doesn't have any text to it. So it's just a basic way to read a piece of music. Then moving ahead to the associateship level, things are a little more complex. There are mild part crossing. Sometimes the tenor and the alto will overlap. The piece is simply more complex, and the text is there. Not because you need to know the text, but because it's another piece of visual information that in a rehearsal we need to learn to filter out so we can concentrate on the notes. Then when you get to the fellowship level, the test is even more complex because you've got your choice of 2 things. You can either play a 4-part open score using C clef. So that would say the treble clef notated in the soprano notated in the treble clef, the alto in the alto clef, the tenor in the tenor clef, and the bass in the bass F clef. This would really lend itself well to someone who does a lot of work with early music, working from manuscripts written in C clefs, or if you do a lot of work with orchestral music where C clefs are more common. You may find it easier to do the alternate, which is reading 5 parts written in the traditional C clef. So treble, 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 the tenor written in the treble transposed down an octave, and the bass in the regular bass clef. This particular test would lend itself well to someone who spends a lot of time doing choral music, because in choirs we often have to be able to read 5 parts. So let me talk to you a bit about how to prepare. What you want to do is, first of all, just to get your eyes used to pairing up things. So just for this, the purpose of our discussion, I'm going to use the opening measures of Exultate Iuste of Viadana. First of all, if you just look at the open score and get your eyes used to soprano and alto. Now that's pretty straightforward. And then count your way in. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. Then it's a matter of getting used to, you know, that tenor transposition where it's written in the soprano in a G clef, but down an octave. So get your bass note set, and then look at that note in the tenor and get used to transposing it down. Okay, once you've got that, then really slowly get used to, then you can put the whole thing together. So let me give you some hints for how to handle this exam. First of all, one of the things the examiners are listening for, of course we want accurate notes, but even more than that, absolutely rock steady rhythm. So get used to practicing with a metronome. Don't trust your own self for your rhythm, because then what happens if there's a mistake or whatever, you'll just hiccup and keep going. Get your metronome out and practice with the metronome so that you have a very, very steady rhythm. The other thing is that if you think about being in a choir practice, when you're helping a choir decipher a piece in open score, first of all, you've got to have absolutely steady rhythm. Then you need to have at least the bass and the soprano. Okay? And the inner parts, I mean, they'll figure themselves out. But in a rehearsal, it's not a matter of just playing as fast as you can or scrambling through the notes, but you need to have steady rhythm and have at least the outer parts going. And so practice that. Practice when you pull up a piece of music, read the bass and the soprano with your metronome ticking back and forth. But that's what examiners will be listening for. If you drop a note or two in the middle, you know, the examiners, okay, they're listening for, is the piece going to fall completely apart, or can you keep a steady rhythm going? I think this piece is a good test, as I say, a good test of a skill that organists use all the time, and also a test of our musicianship. How deeply do we understand the ways that music is written and how it transports itself from off the page into our fingers? So listen, one thing I would like to tell you, if I could get every candidate just before their exam, as you're standing there waiting to play, if I could somehow let you know how much your examiners want you to do well, you don't have a bigger cheering section anywhere than those examiners who you will not see, they'll behind a screen or whatever, but they are hoping you play well. If you make a mistake, they're like, ooh, keep going, like that. Like we really want you to succeed and to do well. I know it's easy to think that the examiners are sitting there behind their screen thinking, aha, he made a mistake. No way. Your examiners are so happy that you are taking up a craft that we love. And so we want you to do well. I'd be happy to hear from you if you have any questions about RCCO exams. And just know that I'm very grateful to you for working on these exams and for making yourself an increasingly better organist. And I wish you very good luck.